This wasn't just saying goodbye to some characters from an old TV show from 30 years. This fond farewell was something much, much more. When Star Trek TNG hit the air in 1987, it started a 7-year run plus other shows of standard network television episodic storytelling, meaning each week we got to visit these characters and go through a whole beginning, middle, and an end of a whole story. They don't make shows like this anymore. It was a different time, different place, different format. That's why this goodbye is more than just a goodbye and send off to the cast and crew of the Enterprise D or the actors of the show. It was a goodbye to old school storytelling. I'm writer, producer, trader Bubba. This here's Cousin Emmy, and this is Bubba Breaks Sci-Fi.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
Whoa. Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream?
So say we all.
Your father was captain of a starship for 12 minutes. He saved 800 lives.
Engage.
Bubba Breaks Sci-Fi.
I just revisited Picard Season 3, and this isn't going to be one of the standard deep dives that I do from the point of view of a working writer in Hollywood. This is simply me saying this. Obviously, for the past number of years, really, but especially with Starfleet Academy getting canceled and now Star Trek Strange New Worlds leaving the air, there's a lot of discussion over what is Star Trek and why these shows are canceled and blah, blah, blah. And I can't believe how many comments I still see attributing the cancellation or lack of success on recent Star Trek shows due to some sort of Paramount executive secret agenda or some kind of crazy nonsense. Every time I read something like that, I laugh because that's giving way too much credit to the executives at Paramount. I know some of these. I have a meeting actually on Monday at Paramount with the producer that operates out of there, and I'm telling you from years of experience, the executives at these places, they don't have agendas outside of making something successful that makes money. And when they secure a writer like Alex Kurtzman, love him or hate him, it's out of relationships and previous history. Unfortunately, when they make these deals, there's contracts in place. So once they sign that contract, they're stuck with them, better or for worse. Taylor Sheridan is another perfect example of this. Paramount loved him, made a bunch of his shows. Now he's gone. He's not with Paramount anymore. That's how these things work and operate. Rick Berman was the same way. He had a long-standing contract, which I believe had to get renewed twice while he was executive producer of all things Star Trek. The executives at Paramount, all they care is that the franchise is making as much money for it as it can. It doesn't care about story, it doesn't care about quality. It just doesn't care. It's there for the bottom line, nothing more. And in this fractured landscape of how we consume our media, Star Trek really isn't designed, quite frankly, for streaming services. Star Trek was created as an episodic storytelling device. None of the characters in either the original series or The Next Generation or even Voyager or DS9, none of them were characters designed to tell film stories. In film, you have a clear 3-act structure, beginning, middle, and end, and your characters are on a journey. Usually they learn something and go through a change. These characters aren't designed for that, especially The Next Generation, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just you're talking about two different formats. And unfortunately, with episodes on streaming, they're not really TV shows anymore. They're just 10-part movies. And honestly, the writing has gotten really bad. And I don't just mean in Star Trek, I just mean in general. I actually don't watch modern day episodic shows because episode 1 could be good, and then you're just trudging along 2 through 8 just to get to episodes 9 and 10 where something finally happens, and then it's the end of the season. On classic network television, especially like Star Trek TNG, they had far less money per episode. They would actually spend the same amount per season as they would now, even adjusted for inflation, but you were getting over twice as many episodes, like 23 to 24 episodes, I believe, a season. Now you get 10. Each episode is not its own contained story. Star Trek Strange New Worlds was half episodic, still half serialized. You could watch those episodes for the most part out of order, There's some character stuff going on that you might get confused by, but whatever. Whereas with Star Trek The Next Generation, because it was never a network show, it was sold into syndication from the get-go because they couldn't get a network to pay for it. They knew that because they were selling it to these individual networks throughout the country, individually, there was no guarantee that those syndicates would air the episodes in order. So each episode had to be its own story. And with streaming services, it's just not a problem. So now you've got this, even in Picard season 3. I love that season, but man, some of that middle, I'm like, really? Like, you couldn't, really, you could have turned that into just a 2-hour feature film. Again, you're just talking 2 different formats. But the point of this video is to say the farewell with the crew standing on a rebuilt set that was designed for episodic television. That wasn't just a goodbye to the characters. It was a goodbye to episodic storytelling and network episodic storytelling as we know it. Because it would take a network executive with a big pair of cojones that wasn't afraid of losing his job to greenlight an actual new network television style Star Trek show, which is what the fans are basically asking for. The conversation I had with this producer who operates out of Paramount, what Paramount is looking for is they want movies to put in theater and shows to put on their streaming service. So the only way that Star Trek would return in the format like this would be on a streaming service. And you have to understand that Paramount is so in debt to get the streaming service up and running because it's still not profitable. The Peacock streaming service finally just reported their first year of being profitable, which means they're looking for stuff like this. And this is great. This is cool. You know, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. But is it Star Trek? That's why this goodbye is more than just a goodbye to Picard, to all the characters. It's literally a goodbye to the format that gave birth to Star Trek. When I hit 1,000 subs, I'm going to be doing a giveaway and giving away this. I'm giving her all she's got Captain shirt. If you don't feel like waiting, the shirt's available at traderbubba.com. Proceeds go to charity. Right now, proceeds will be going to the support Cousin Emmy's family through medical crisis GoFundMe. For more information, click the link down below. traderbubba.com. Discount code in the description.
Hello. Good luck with the giveaway. Mwah. Bye.
Bubba Break Sci-Fi.
Guys, I'm Trader Bubba. Thanks so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really helps this brand new channel grow. Special shout out to my first Patreon members. You guys are awesome. I've got some fun exclusive Patreon videos, including you get to watch an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. It's one of my favorite Riker episodes. You get to watch it with me. It's a fun episode. I've also got a video on there about the problem with Troy, Deanna Troy, and what the show did with her. I can't put that video on YouTube because there's some no-no stuff in it. So you might want to check that out on Patreon too. Don't go away, I got another video popping up right here, and this video will get your blood just boiling.
Yeah, Bubba Break